Welcome back to RLCS Overtime, ladies and gentlemen. Just got done with the recap of Week 4. Now, Week 5, lots of playoff implications on the line. So we're definitely going to talk about all those things after we get done with this blue versus black civil war we've got.
Black and blue, man.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. This was entirely unintentional, and this is just how it happened. Here we are. Absolutely. All right, but since no one's laughing about that, just Gibbs, take it away.
All right, we're going to do playoff scenarios. Obviously, guys, we're going to go through every single team that's still alive, except for Renegades. Rest in peace, Renegades. They are done. So we're going to start in North America, and we're going to start at the bottom and work our way to the top. So we're going to start with Allegiance here. Technically, they're behind Renegades right now, but they still have a chance for top 6. What they need, though, is 2 wins. They need to beat G2 3-0 and then just beat FlyQuest, and they're fine. Or if they beat G2 3-1 or 3-2, they have to at least 3-1 FlyQuest to get that tiebreaker in the win percentage column over FlyQuest. But they control their own destiny, so that's pretty nice for them.
And Renegades is done because they've played 6 games.
Exactly. They played 6 games, and they just cannot catch up. But that's why we still have Allegiance here. Next up, we got FlyQuest. Now, this is the same for Allegiance as well. They can only get the 6th spot. So FlyQuest can only get the 6th spot. And if Allegiance, if they lose one of those 2 games, then they're done. And they obviously play each other, so that's a big game. Or if they lose 3-2 to Allegiance, then they are also done. For Allegiance, I should say, then FlyQuest will clinch a top 6. So as long as they get 2 wins versus Allegiance, they're in. They don't have to worry about winning the entire series. Moving on to Rogue, we have them. They are kind of the most boring. They've clinched top 5, so they will at least get that 4-5 matchup. They can jump up to 3rd, though, and that's if they beat Ghost, and then they would need some tiebreaker help. So 3rd's pretty important because you might want to play a FlyQuest or Allegiance, who seem like the weakest teams right now. So Rogue, pretty boring. They can't really go anywhere. They've already clinched the playoff berth, so congrats to them. We'll see you in Season 5. And next up, we get the top 4 teams. We are going to start with Energy. They're 4-2. They've clinched the top 5 as well. Again, all these guys at least top 5 because that's 6 spots between Allegiance and FlyQuest. But for top 2, they only have 1 game left. They need to beat Cloud9 and then need some tiebreaker help. Or if they win and Cloud9 goes 0-2, they would also need the loser of G2 Ghost to go 0-2. And that's if they don't want to play with tiebreakers.
Okay, I think.
But one thing that's good for Energy, they are 3rd in the win percentage column right now. They're 4th in standings, but they are ahead of G2. So if it comes down to a tie between those 2, likely Energy will beat them.
So when you say tiebreaker help, you're talking about the win percentage.
Yes, of course. The first tiebreaker is win percentage in individual games. It is no longer head-to-head. Head-to-head is the second tiebreaker in case they do tie after that. So moving on, we'll go to G2, who is going to lose out on most tiebreakers because they have the lowest win percentage right now. But again, they have clinched top 5 as well. For top 2, if they get 2 wins, they're in. Or 1 win plus tiebreaker help. They play Ghost the second to last game, and they play Allegiance. So a lot of people expect them to beat Allegiance, so that Ghost matchup is very important for a top 2 spot. But they can still get it even if they do lose that game. They would just need some tiebreaker help. But again, tiebreakers do not favor them, so they would need some sweeps and then a close 5-game series to have any chance there. Next up, we have Ghost. So Ghost is the 2nd best win percentage right now. They've also clinched top 5. For top 2, 2 wins, simple for them as well. Or 1 win and tiebreaker help. But once again, their tiebreaker help doesn't need as much because they have a higher win percentage than G2 and, of course, Energy as well. So going into those last matchups, again, that Ghost G2 matchup, match 5, that one's going to mean a lot. But then they might still be watching when Cloud9 plays Energy later because they play right after. So they might be rooting for Cloud9 at that point. Next up, we have Cloud9. The team in first, they have a really high win percentage. They're like 10 points better than everyone else in the win percentage column. So tiebreakers are looking for them. And the reason for that is now they just have to beat Renegades 3-0. And if they do that, their win percentage is so high, they can't lose any tiebreaker. So they will clinch top 2. They won't have to worry about that huge matchup at the end of the day versus Energy. So that matchup is extremely important for Cloud9. Or say they lose to Renegades, hope is not lost. If they beat Energy 3-1, they still win all tiebreakers and they will be up in top 2. Now, of course, they don't have to win every tiebreaker. They just have to come in the top 2 in them. So if there's a 3-way tie, they just have to at least finish 2nd. Or, of course, 2 wins will get them in. Or 1 win that is not those results, then they would need some tiebreak help. But again, these other teams have to play catch-up, so they're going to have to look for sweeps in order to catch up to Cloud9.
So for the teams on the top, for the teams that are all 4-1 right now, 2 wins gets you in.
Yep.
A win plus a tiebreaker help gets you in. And if you're Cloud9, specific 1-game wins can guarantee you in right now.
And that's why it's so great to be winning most of your series 3-0 or 3-1 throughout the season, that they can just control their own destiny with just their first game against Renegades, who is a last-place team right now. So they don't have to worry necessarily about that really tough matchup later.
Yeah, so Cloud9 in a really good place at the moment. They're the team that we feel like we're favoring the most, probably. Definitely the best chance of making it into the top 2.
I would say so, but top 2 is still tough. They still have to play NRG, so if they don't get that sweep on Renegades, NRG can definitely beat this Cloud9 team. So they're going to be looking out there. But my question to you guys, who is the top 2 after today? Or after next week?
I feel like I just given all the things that could go right and could fall into place for Cloud9, I feel like I gotta put Cloud9 up there. And I honestly feel like Classics isn't up here, so I feel like I feel okay saying this, or else he might punch me. I think I'm gonna go with G2 on this one right now, the G2 Ghost matchup.
I have to agree with you because G2 also they play Allegiance, who's down at the bottom, so you would think they would win that, and then as long as they beat Ghost, they would take that spot. So I'm going Cloud9 G2 as well.
Quinn, let's contribute to something very quickly. Let's go. I'm going to probably agree with you guys. So, yeah, I'm not contributing as much as I was hoping I was going to.
Yeah, this is going to be a letdown. I think you
Cloud9 G2 as well?
Cloud9 G2.
Nobody putting an RG in the top there? Well, nobody?
It's tough because, I mean, they've done so well over so many seasons, but, you know, every dream comes to an end.
I mean, they rarely go into the playoffs in the #1 seed anyways. They usually play in the playoffs and come out and win there. So, I guess, yeah, that's good stuff there from North America. What you got for EU?
All right, let's go to Europe. We'll start at the top this time, change it up a little bit. PSG, they've clinched top 2. They are fine for #1 seed. All they need is a win or a Method loss. And if they do lose their game, that Method loses, they still get the #1 seed. Very simple for them. We'll quickly go past them. We'll go on to Method, who they have the best chance at the top 2. If they win, they're in. They play Excel, though. So if they lose also 2-3 to Excel, they win tiebreakers over Excel later on, no matter what they do. They will also get in. Or if they lose to Excel by more, they have to hope for a loss by Excel and Gale Force. Or they lose to them and just need some tiebreaker help, depending on ties. Next up, we have Gale Force. They're sitting in 3rd right now, but they actually have an extremely hard chance to get top 2, way harder than the team below them, which is Excel. They have to sweep Envy, plus need tiebreaker help to have any chance for a top 2. They have clinched top 5, though. Next up is Excel. They have 2 games left. One of them's against Method, so they control their own destiny going into this. They need to beat Method 3-1, plus Mocket 3-1, or they just need to beat Mocket with no matter what score, as long as they sweep Method, and then they will take over tiebreakers there. Next up, we do have Mocket. They have not clinched top 6 yet. The highest that they can get is 3rd. They just need 1 win for top 6, or they can still lose 2, and they still have pretty generous tiebreakers to still make it in. But again, probably don't want to get swept in both of those series because that'll hurt your chances going forward. Next up, Team Envy, the world champions. The highest they can get is 4th. So they're going to play in that 4th, 5th matchup, and that's only if they get 2 wins. Otherwise, they need a win plus a Flipside and a Secret loss, and they play each other. So they would need the other game. So Secret have to beat Flipside and then lose later, or they get 1 win and tiebreaker help. They do have better tiebreakers than Secret, not so much against Flipside. And then Flipside, we'll move on to them. Top 6, the highest that they can get is 5th. They need a win plus NV02, and Envy's playing PSG and Gale Force, so it's a really tough game for them. Or a win plus tiebreaker help, or even they could lose to Team Secret, the only game, and still make it in based on tiebreaker help if Secret loses their other game and Envy loses both. Moving on to Team Secret, who is still alive. They have no wins so far, but they need 2 wins in this final week. They need 2 wins plus Envy to go 0-2, and they will advance. They're playing Flipside, so they can at least bump Flipside down. Or they need 2 wins, and if Envy goes 1-1, they can still win tiebreakers, but they're so far behind, they're going to need some sweeps to make it up.
So like add the 2, carry the 1, and Flipside can get 5th?
Exactly.
Man.
Exactly. And this is why they pay me the big bucks.
For real. A lot of calculations going into that one there. The Flipside can only make 5th place. That's the highest Flipside can place right now in week 5.
And that 4-5 match will be really tough. But 5th is a lot better than 6th because you don't want to face that 3rd team that just missed out on top 2.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's so weird to think that Flipside can still somehow make it to land.
Yeah.
Right? And especially and Envy as well. Like, what?
I mean, Flipside's played 6 matches, but Envy's only played 5. If they get their 2 wins, then they'd be at 3-4, and you'd be like, oh, they look, kind of right there in the middle. So things still possibly alive for every team in Europe, surprisingly. The only team that is not in is Renegades. They will be out of the playoffs at this point and be playing in promotion relegation. But for everyone else, there's still a chance, so definitely show up next weekend to cheer for your teams. When we come back to overtime, ladies and gentlemen, going to be doing some trivia. Classics will be here. Pros versus casters. Who's smarter? Let's find out. I'm excited. We'll be right back.